That was Shake and Tremble by Django Django. You're listening to Drive Time on Future Radio with me, Sabrina Johnson. If you've just tuned in, don't go anywhere, because I am joined in the studio by Simon Devlin. Thank you for coming in, Simon.
Hey Sabrina, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Now, you're a man, along with co-musicians Andy Rodwell and Tyler Duffield, who have taken on a rather challenging, and some would say daring, role of a Jimi Hendrix tribute act. It's not exactly an easy act to follow.
Yeah, we sort of looked at it and thought, who's the easiest act we could possibly do? Why not the greatest guitarist that's ever lived? There's a real showman that knows really how to play. It's a real difficult one to take on, and this has been sort of happening over the last 2 or 3 years, getting it together. Not just the music itself, but and not just the entertainment side. I mean, we try and do as much as Hendrix did: play behind my back, play in my teeth, set fire to the guitar, all the crazy stuff, and also the gear as well. Trying to get the gear exactly the same as what Hendrix was using. So I don't know if you know, Hendrix was left-handed. And he had to play right-handed guitar. He couldn't get left-handed guitars, so they look very odd when he's playing them. They had upside-down headstocks on them. The pickups are the wrong way round. So we have the official Hendrix guitars, which look like they're left-handed, but they're not. They're right-handed, but they look like they're left-handed. They're a pig to play, to be honest with you. And then there's all the amplifiers, the same sort of things that he used to use as well. So the old-fashioned Marshall amplifiers. Trying to recreate that sound is really difficult without them. So it does help to have the proper stuff.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Hendrix, there's so much to think about. And I guess you mentioned there having the right amps and kind of using the right kind of guitars, even though you're not doing it 100%, but you're pretty much as close as you can be. Is that kind of as important to you as kind of really mastering the guitar playing itself?
Well, the first thing we sort of do is to make sure that it's fun and entertaining for us to do, because if it's just mundane and boring, we wouldn't want to do it in the first place. So when you come and see us, hopefully you'll feel and see that energy that comes out of the band foremost. Then you can get into the gig a little more. Secondly, we work on things like all the nuances that Hendrix and the other guys would have put into it as well. I'd love to say it was all about me, but it's not. You know, the other guys, Andy Rodwell, fantastic bass player. He also plays guitar and sings for another local tribute actor, a Pink Floyd one called Pure Floyd. Absolutely fabulous band. I've been to see them a number of times. Really are good. So he's a class musician anyway in his own right. And Tyler Duffield, I've played with him for many, many years in another band that I Mr. Pink. And he's not just an amazing drummer, he's just a really nice guy to get along with, and that really counts in a band when you're spending, days away on the road together in hotels and so on. I don't want to go out with someone that I just don't like, and he's and Andy's a wonderful guy. They're really cool chaps. So that's something we really look for. So yeah, getting the act right is really important, but there's other sides to it as well which are pretty important.
So how many hours of rehearsal? I mean, you said you kind of started putting it together about 2 or 3 years ago. How many kind of hours of rehearsal before you get kind of the finished show?
Well, there's only 24 hours in a day, so a lot is the correct word. I mean, we've done probably over 100 hours of rehearsals just to get to that finished show. But we also play in bands together, so we often come together and play sort of one-off shows and so on, just to keep it tight as well. Because you can only do so much in a rehearsal. It doesn't feel live. It's like what's the best way to describe it? A driving simulator on the road. It's all very well, but it's not like being out on the road itself. So we try and get gigs going and work it out from there. That's the general way that we do it, Sabrina.
Cool. Well, how about we have a brief break to listen to a Jimi Hendrix?
Oh, let's do that. That'd be great.
So it's going to be Purple Haze. How would you introduce Purple Haze? The infamous Purple Haze. Well,
the infamous Purple Haze. We're called Purple Jimi. So this is the track that we named our band after. We spelled Jimmy J-I-M-I, which is the same way he spelled it. And it's probably the first track I ever heard from Jimi Hendrix, so it is a synonymous one for myself as well. So yeah, let's hear Jimi Hendrix's Purple Haze.
Here we go. That was, of course, Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix. Now, if you've just tuned in, I am joined in the studio by Simon Devlin of Purple Jimi, Jimi Hendrix tribute act. So thanks again, Simon, for joining us. And that was the first Jimi Hendrix tune you ever heard?
Was that not us playing it? I thought that was us playing it. I kid. No one can do it like Hendrix. It was amazing. Yeah, I think so. I had the Greatest Hits album, and it was definitely on there, and probably the first number on that particular album. I think that was the first time I'd heard Hendrix. I mean, I was brought up on rock and blues and stuff as a kid. My father was sort of into the Zeppelin sort of stuff and the Hendrix sort of stuff and the early Fleetwood Mac and so on. So very much blues, guitar orientated sort of stuff.
Of inherited.
I was force fed it. Yeah, exactly. I couldn't get away from it. Please, Dad, no more Jimi Hendrix. Shoved down my no, I absolutely loved it. Hendrix sort of came in at a later date, although I was quite aware of him when I first started playing guitar. I think my big hero when I was a young teenager starting to play guitar was Angus Young from AC/DC, and I worshipped the guy for a couple of years. And then somebody brought around an album with Van Halen on it, and that completely changed my life. I just couldn't believe anyone could play guitar like that. It was an eruption if anyone's heard it. In fact, it's my ringtone on my phone now. It's that big a statement. And I bought Eddie Van Halen's guitar and learned all his tricks and so on. So then really the Hendrix thing came in after that, and I wasn't, because he wasn't a technician in the way that Van Halen was and didn't do all the flashy guitar stuff like Van Halen did. It was more bluesy and soulful. That really came in more later. But now looking back at it, the guy, it was phenomenal what he was doing.
Only around only really active, and for around 4 years, was being a member of the the Sat 27 Club, when one of the famous people died at the age of 27. But yeah, for those kind of 4 years when he was really really well known and really big, he made a massive stamp on the music.
He came to England in '66, and that's where things started taking off. And he was dead by 1970, and it's such a shame. Just think what other things he could have gone on to. What a superstar he really was. So it's a shame that he's not around, but he's left such a legacy, and everyone wants to emulate, including us. So that's why we're doing the tribute act to Jimi Hendrix.
And of course, you will be teaming up with another tribute act. Dust Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Van Nash.
It is, yeah. They're actually funded by a guy called Joe as well, so that's a bit of a coincidence. They are fantastic. You've got to see them. They are really, really good. I mean, I love my Hendrix stuff, but my God, Dust Bowl is something else. They really, and when I saw them, I just said to the guys, you've got to come support us. You're brilliant. So yeah, there's Jez on the drums and Joe playing guitar and vocals, and they're an amazing band. So we're teaming up with them. The next show that we've got is on November the 12th. That's up in North Norfolk, a place called the Harbour Rooms in Blakeney, if you've ever come across it at all. So we'll be up there November the 12th. And for the two bands, it's just £8 to get in. So you want to come and see, I'd say so, yeah. So, I mean, it's worth sort of checking us out. We're doing a few other local gigs with them as well. We've got places like the Seagull Theatre in Lowestoft booked, I think, for May next year. We should be getting some dates with the St George's Theatre in Yarmouth. There's one I think it's called the Auden Theatre. We should be booking something up in January there. We might even do something at the Puppet Theatre in Norwich. There's sort of ties in with our family there, so we might do something with them as well. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled. We'll put it onto our website.
You've got a website, or you're on Facebook. Where can people find out more?
Yeah, if they go to purplejimi.com, and Jimmy is spelled Jimi, like Jimi Hendrix spelled it. So purplejimi.com, and they should find us there. There's a Facebook group, it's got videos, photos on there. It tells you all about what we're up to. Yeah, check it out.
And at the actual show, can people expect all the classic Purple Haze?